Hello, everyone. This is Riley with Yoga Slinger. Thank you so much for joining me for our lunge level 1 class. To begin, we're going to sit tall in easy pose, spine straight, gaze forward, chin parallel with the mat. We're going to take a few deep breaths in and out to release from our day and get settled into this present moment. Take a deep breath in, completely fill your lungs up with air. Hold your breath. Exhale, let it go. Take a deep breath in. Hold. Exhale, let it go. Bring your hands out in front of you. Uncross your feet and come up to a tabletop position. Wrist under your shoulders, knees under your hips, feet flat on the mat and hip distance apart. Fingers spread wide, begin to rock back and forth, gently warming up your wrists. You're only going as far as feels comfortable for you. You don't want to be feeling any pain. Bring your fingertips out towards the sides. Sway from side to side. Squeezing your abs in, keeping your back straight. And feel free to readjust as you need to. Fingertips in towards each other, sway from side to side. Sit back towards your shins and bring your fingertips in towards your knees. You can bring your hands closer to your knees so that you can relieve yourself from some of that pressure and begin to rock back and forth. Bring the backs of your hands down to the mat, fingers facing forward. Again, bringing your hands in towards your knees to relieve yourself from that pressure and begin to rock back and forth. Nice and gentle here. Bring your fingertips out towards the sides, sway from side to side. Bring your fingertips in towards each other, sway from side to side. Bring your fingertips in towards your knees, rock back and forth. Sit back towards your heels. Shake out your wrists. Come back to tabletop position. And bring your leg out at a 90-degree angle, your right leg, out to the side so it's parallel with the mat. Flex your toes so they're facing the wall to your right side. And with control, lower your knee down so that's hovering by your left knee. Lift your right leg back up. And then lower down, hover. And your right leg is the only thing that's moving. You can incorporate your breath here, inhaling as you open your leg out to the side, and exhaling as you lower it back down for fire hydrants. Going as feels comfortable for you. If you're feeling any pain in your hips, you can create smaller movements that might look something like this. Just using control. Bring your right knee down towards your left, hovering off the mat. Kick your right leg back out towards your side, and then forward back again for leg circles forward. Exaggerating the movement as you open up your hips over towards your right side. Nice and controlled here. Switch directions. And if you need to take breaks throughout these exercises, feel free to take child's pose. Child's pose from tabletop would look something like bringing your glutes down towards your ankles, lowering your forehead down to the mat, crawling your fingertips forward, and lowering your forehead down to the mat. And then continue to join us when you're able. All right, bring your right knee down, hovering by your left, keeping your foot flexed. Kick your right leg back behind you so that the sole of your foot is facing the ceiling. And where our thigh connects with our glutes, we want to kick up. So it's a really small movement here. Gentle pulses for some Jane Fondas. Lower your right knee down to the mat, tabletop position, sitting back towards your ankles and shaking out your wrists if you need to. And then bringing our left leg out to the side at a 90-degree angle, toes flexed, and lowering our left knee down towards our right for some fire hydrants. Exhaling as you lower your knee and inhaling as you bring your knee up. All right, circle your knee forward, keeping your toes flexed, gaze down. Switch directions. Lower or hover your left knee down by your right, keeping your toes flexed, kick it back behind you. Jane Fondas. Lower your left knee down towards the mat, tabletop position. Tucking your belly in, reach your right arm forward, parallel to the mat. Step your left toes back and lift your left leg up, parallel to the mat. Keeping your gaze down, looking about a couple inches away from the tips of your fingers. With control, connect your elbow and knee to touch. Inhale, reach back out. Exhale, elbow, knee to touch. Inhale, reach back out. Continue to move with your breath for balancing table. Lower your hand and left shin back down to the mat, tabletop. Switch sides, left hand reaches out, right leg reaches back behind you. Exhale, connect the elbow knee to touch. Inhale, reach back out. Being mindful of where your arm and leg is reaching. You want your arm to reach forward and your leg to reach directly back, not off to the side. Lower back down, tabletop. Switch sides. This time, we're going to do a balancing table with a pulse, and we're going to gently lift our arm and leg up. Slow movement here. Lower back down, tabletop. Switch sides, pulse. Lower down, tabletop. On your exhale, round your spine up towards the ceiling. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. Exaggerate the arch of your spine as you press the mat away and completely empty your lungs for cat pose. When your lungs are completely empty, begin to lift your gaze up towards the ceiling as you drop your belly down towards the mat for cow pose. Completely fill your lungs with air. When your lungs are completely full of air, begin to exhale, round your spine up, tuck your chin in towards your chest, empty your lungs, cat pose. Inhale, cow. And continue to move with your breath. Come back, tabletop. Sit back towards your ankles. Crawl your fingertips forward. Bring your forehead down to the mat, child's pose. On your inhales, crawl your fingertips as far as you can reach them, lengthening your spine, and on your exhales, sink further down into the mat. Lift up slightly, bringing your toes to touch and widening out your knees to the width of your mat. Sit back towards your ankles for a wide-legged child's pose. Crawling your fingertips forward, keeping your forehead down to the mat. Begin to crawl your fingertips over towards your right side, bringing your torso up against your right thigh. Sit back towards your left hip and bring your left hand over your right wrist, if possible, for a wide-legged child's pose with a twist. Take your time, keeping your forehead down to the mat. Begin to work your way over towards your left side, bringing your torso against your left thigh. Sit back towards your right hip and bring your right hand over your left wrist. Slowly crawl yourself back towards center. Tuck your toes so your toes are on the mat. Come back to tabletop. And lift your hips for down dog. Begin to pedal at your feet, so one knee is coming down towards the mat at a time. And you want your ears parallel with your biceps. For down dog, we want to imagine our body in the shape of a triangle with the palms of our hands and the soles of our feet at the base and our hips at the top. Ground down through your feet, bringing your heels down towards the mat as far as you can, looking past your ankles. Look between your thumbs. Step your right foot forward. Lower your left knee down to the mat. Flatten your left foot. Reach your arms up above you. Crescent lunge. Send your hips forward. Lift up, reach tall, and wiggle out your heel forward until your foot is straight out in front of you. And inhale, come into crescent lunge. You want to see your right toes, making sure that your right knee is above your right ankle, and you want your toes to face forward. Exhale, straighten your right leg, bring your hands down to the mat with a straight back here. And then once you're here on the mat with a straight back, you can curve your spine a little bit, lower your head down, flatten your foot, inhale, reach up, crescent lunge. Exhale, triangle pose. Continue to move with your breath at your own pace into a crescent lunge triangle movement. And if this is hard to reach here, you can use your blocks to help bring the ground up to your hands. They have 3 heights again, so you can pick which works best for you. We want to make sure that our left knee is underneath our left hip. And we're adjusting to what feels comfortable for us. And that might mean bringing a blanket down underneath your left knee, maybe curling up your mat to bring some extra cushion underneath your knee. Let's meet in crescent lunge. Foot flat on the mat. Bring your hands to your hips. Finding your balance, kick your left leg. up into your left hand. If you can't reach, go as far as you can. That might look something like this. Gaze forward, straight spine, shoulders back. Release. Lower your left foot flat down to the mat. Hands to your hips. Look up at the ceiling. Slight back bend. Come back to center, straightening out your spine. Reach your arms up above you. Inhale as you lower your hands parallel to the mat, sending your left hand back behind you. Follow your gaze past your left fingertips as you reach your right hand forward in front of you. Exhale, bring your hands up. Turn to face center. Inhale, right arm reaches back. Left arm reaches forward. Follow your gaze past your right fingertips. Exhale, reach back up. Turn to face forward. Continue to move with your breath, inhaling as you lower your arms parallel to the mat. Follow your gaze past your back hand. Turn to gaze forward as you exhale. For a crescent lunge with a twist movement. Only going as far as feels comfortable for you. That might mean shortening your arms, so maybe they're going at a 90-degree angle. And you're looking past the hand reaching out to your side. Let's meet facing forward, arms reaching tall. Bring your hands down to either side of your right foot. Tuck your left toes. Send your right foot back behind you, down dog. Sending your heels back further towards the mat. Look between your thumbs. Step your left foot forward. Lower your right knee down to the mat. Flatten your right foot. Making sure your left knee is stacked above your left ankle, left toes facing forward. Reach your arms up, crescent lunge. Straighten your left leg out, triangle pose. Exhale, hinge down. Inhale, flatten your foot, reach up, crescent lunge. Exhale, triangle. Continue to move with the pace of your breath in a crescent lunge to triangle movement. And for our crescent lunge, We want to feel a hip stretch as we send our hips forward. And for our triangle pose, we want to feel the stretch on the back of our leg that's straight. Let's meet in crescent lunge. Bring your hands down to your hips, finding your balance. Tuck your right toes and then kick your right foot into your right hand, or go as close as you can. Gaze forward. Release your right foot back down. Straighten your spine. Hands to your hips. Slight back bend as you look up at the ceiling. Straighten your spine, gaze forward. Reach your arms up above you. Inhale as you reach your right arm back. Follow your gaze past your right fingertips. Left hand reaching forward. Exhale. Bring your hands up above you. Turn to gaze forward. Inhale, reach your left arm back behind you. Follow your gaze past your left fingertips. Exhale, bring your gaze forward. Continue to move at the pace of your breath. For our crescent lunge with the twist movement. If you ever forget how to breathe while you're exercising, generally speaking, you want to inhale as you are reaching your arms and legs out away from you. So we're opening up our chest. And exhale as we're bringing our arms and legs in closer to our body. Turn to gaze forward. Bring your hands down to either side of your left foot. Tuck your right toes. Step your left foot back, down dog. Look between your thumbs. Step your left foot forward. Left knee above the left ankle. Balance on your back right toes as you send your arms up. High lunge. Spine straight, reach tall. Lower your right foot down at a 45-degree angle, facing forward but slightly to the right. Put pressure on your knee to turn towards the left so it's not caving inward. Warrior one. Turn your right toes towards the right. Parallel your arms to the mat. Looking past your left fingertips, right arms back behind you in a straight line with your left arm. Warrior two. Lower your right arm, right hand down to your right thigh. Reach your left arm forward, palm up towards the ceiling. Follow your gaze of your left hand as you send it up above you, reverse warrior. Warrior two. Lower your left forearm down to your left knee. Reach your right arm up above you. Keeping your gaze on the mat or up past your right fingertips. Staying here or hovering your left fingertips off the mat or planting your left palm on the inside of the left foot. Extended, sorry, not extended, side angle. Extended side angle is like when you're out here, but we're not doing that today. We're just doing side angle. Wherever you are, bring your left hand down to the mat on the inside of the left foot. Lower your right arm down to the mat. Turn your right toes to face forward. Bring your left hand to the outside of the left foot. Step your left foot back. Down dog. Step your right foot forward. High lunge. Going into our rotating jumping lunge. We're going to start in our high lunge. And this is going to be one fluid movement, but we're going to digest this a little bit. We're going to jump up, and then we're going to face our left side. Our feet are still going to be working to turn, so we're now in a high lunge with our left knee forward. We're going to jump up, turn to our right side, right knee forward, coming back to our high lunge. And we're going to use our arms. So our arms are down, reaching up, jumping, turning to the left, arms go down, reaching, jumping up, turning towards our right knee. And you have the option to continue to move there. Inhaling as you reach up, exhaling as you lower your arms down. Inhale, reach up, exhale, arms lower down. If that, continue to do that if you're able. If that's challenging for you, then from high lunge, option to have your arms raised or at your hips. Step your left foot forward, mountain. Step your right foot back, high lunge. Step your right foot forward, mountain. Step your left foot back. Inhaling as we extend our leg back. Exhaling as we come back, mountain. Continue to move with your breath. Let's meet where we started in our right high lunge. Arms up above us. Stay here. Now drop your left knee a little bit towards the mat. A little bit more. A little bit more. Just hovering off the mat. Reach back up, high lunge. Step your left foot forward, mountain. Bring your hands to your hips. Ground down through your right foot as you step your left foot far back behind you. Going into our alternating reverse low lunges. Bend your left knee down. You want to make sure that you can see your right toes, your right knee is stacked above your right ankle, and you're hovering your left knee down to the mat. If this is difficult, go ahead and lower your knee all the way down to the mat. Lift up, step back up, mountain. Ground down through your left foot, step your right foot back, far back behind you, lower your right knee down to the mat or hovering. Lift up, step forward, mountain. Inhale as you step back. Exhale as you come back, mountain. Inhale, step back. Exhale, come back, mountain. Continue to move with your breath in our alternating reverse low lunges. Going for control and balance. Going at a pace that works for you. Come back up, mountain. And go ahead and come to about the middle of your mat. And we're going to ground down through our left foot. Balance on your right toes. As you send it up, kick your right foot forward. Plant your right foot down into our high lunge. And then with momentum, send your body back to mountain in the center of your mat. So we're planted here, and I'm using my arms to help move me back to mountain. And then since the camera angle's away from here, I'm just going to turn so you guys can see what I'm doing. So after we come back mountain, ground down through your left foot, reach your right leg out, kick to the side, plant your right foot down, squat. And with our squat, we're sending our hips back, keeping our spine straight, engaging our abs. And again, we're protecting our knees, making sure our knees aren't going past our toes. From here, we're going to send our right foot back towards our left, mountain. And we're going to balance on our left foot, send our right leg up, kick back, plant our right foot down for reverse high lunge. Bring your right foot forward, mountain. Kick your right leg in front of you, high lunge. Send your right foot back to your left, mountain. Kick your right foot out to the side, squat. Send your right foot back to your left. Kick your right foot back, reverse lunge. Send your right foot forward. Inhale, kick forward. Exhale, come back mountain. Inhale, kick to the side. Exhale, squat. Inhale, kick back. Reverse low lunge. Exhale, mountain. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Continue to move with your breath. Come back mountain. Let's bring our hands to our hips. And we're going to squeeze our abs, spine straight. Send your hips back as you send your torso down towards your legs. Reaching down, forward fold. We want to keep our spine straight until we lower down to the mat. Then we can curve, drop our head. And from here, we're going to bend our right knee, keeping our left leg straight. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Follow your gaze past your left fingertips. Exhale, come back down, switch sides. Left hand goes on the left bent knee, straighten the right leg. Reach the right arm up as you inhale. Exhale, lower back down. Bending the right knee, bringing your right hand to your right knee, straighten your left arm and your left leg. Reach up. Continue to move with your breath. Inhaling as you reach up. Exhaling as you lower back down. Or forward fold with a twist movement. Bring your gaze back down to the mat. Straighten both your legs. Bring your hands down to the mat. Step your feet back. Down dog. Parallel your ears with your biceps. Flatten your feet down to the mat as far as you can go. It's important in down dog to keep your hands, your arms and your spine in a straight line. You don't want to have straight feet and compromise your arms and spine out like this. You want to make sure that your spine and arms are straight, and if something needs to bend, let it be your knees. Step your right foot forward. Reach up, high lunge. Lower your left foot down at a 45-degree angle, warrior one. Open your left foot over towards the left side. Parallel your arms to the mat. Look past your right fingertips. Making sure your right knee is not caving inward. Pushing it towards your right. Lower your left arm down to your left thigh. Reach your right arm forward, palm up towards the ceiling. Reverse warrior. Warrior two. Right forearm down to your right knee. Reach your left arm up. Gaze down or up towards the ceiling. Stay here or hover your fingertips off the mat or plant your palm down to the inside of the right foot. Side angle. Wherever you are, bring your left hand down to the inside of the left foot. Bring your right arm down to the mat. Turn your left toes to face forward. Bring your left hand to the outside of the left foot. Step the left foot back, down dog. Step your left foot forward. High lunge. Going into our rotating jumping lunge or our mountain step. Remembering starting from our high lunge, jumping up, sending our arms down as we go to our other side for our high lunge, reaching up. Inhale, coming down, exhaling, reaching up. Coming to be forward in our high lunge with our left foot forward. Reaching our arms up straight. Gradually drop your right knee down to the mat. A little bit lower. A little bit lower. Hovering off the mat. Lift tall, high lunge. Step forward, mountain. Bring your hands to your hips. Ground down through your right foot. Step your left foot back. Feel wiggling your toes back to make sure that your right knee isn't being compromised. Lowering, hovering your left knee down above the mat or on the mat, going as far as you're able. Come back up, step up, mountain, kick back, reverse low lunge. Inhale, come up. Exhale, go back. Inhale, come up. And continue to move with your breath. If you're able to move faster than me, by all means, challenge yourself with where you are today. Let's meet in mountain. Come to the center of your mat. Hands on your hips or out in front of you. Balance on your right foot. Kick your left leg forward. High lunge. Step back. Mountain. Inhale. Kick your left leg out. Squat. Exhale, mountain. Inhale. Kick your left leg back. Reverse low lunge. Exhale, mountain. Inhale, kick forward. Continue to move with your breath. Let's meet in mountain. Hands on your hips. Squeeze your abs. Send your hips back. Spine straight as you lower down, forward fold. Bending your right knee. Right hand on top of your right knee. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, bend the left knee. Straighten the right. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Continue to move with your breath. In our forward fold with a twist movement. And in forward fold, you want your feet hip distance apart, feet flat on the mat, balancing on all four corners of your feet. Turn to gaze down. Straighten your legs. Bring your hands down to the mat, bending your knees if you need to. Walk your hands out in front of you. Walk your legs back. Down dog. Look between your thumbs. Option to walk forward or jump forward into your forward fold. Straighten your legs. Grabbing onto your block if you need to. Bring the palms of your hands down to the mat. Walk or jump back. Plank. Bringing your wrists underneath your shoulders. Head, spine, thighs in a straight line. Abs engaged. Bend your right knee, hover it off the mat, and bring your right ankle over by your left hand and lower your right knee down over by your right hand. Drop your left knee, top of your left foot flat on the mat, toes pointed back behind you, and you can inch your left leg back to drop your hips down towards the mat. If you're uncomfortable here and you have a lot of space underneath your right hip, you can go ahead and place a block underneath your right hip. And you can stay here gazing forward. And then if you're not using a block, you can drop down to your forearms, making sure your head, spine, and head, neck, and spine are in a straight line. If you still feel like there's room to stretch, you can reach your arms forward and drop your forehead down to the mat for pigeon's pose. We're going to stay here for about a minute. Focus on your breath. If your hands are flat on the mat, go ahead and come up to your forearms. Straighten your hands. Tuck your left toes. Lift your hips off the mat and come back plank. Bend your left knee. Bring your left knee over by your left hand. Right ankle over by your left ankle over by your right hand. Drop your right knee down. Inch your leg back. Right foot, top of your right foot flat on the mat, toes pointed back behind you. Pigeon's pose. Relax your jaw. If your hands are flat on the mat, come up to your forearms and press into your palms. If you have a block, go ahead and remove that. Tuck your right toes, lift your hips, send your left foot back, plank. Lower your knees down, tabletop. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Knees hip distance apart, tops of your feet flat on the mat. Cross your feet. Sit on the outside of your feet. Come into your staff pose. You can bring your hands by your hips to lift your hips off the mat and bring your tailbone directly underneath your spine. Flex your feet, staff pose. Bend your right knee in. Bring your right foot to the outside of your left thigh. Bring your right hand back behind you. Turn to look past your right shoulder as you bring your left elbow to your right knee. Open up your chest. As you inhale, see if you can lift a little bit taller. As you exhale, see if you can twist a little bit further back behind you for a seated spinal twist. Focus on your breath. Release your left elbow from your right knee. Turn to gaze forward. Bring your right leg flat on the mat. Flex your toes. Hug your left knee in. Bring your left foot to the outside of your right thigh. Bring your right elbow up against your left knee. Turn to look past your left shoulder as you bring your left palm back behind you. Inhale, reach taller. Exhale, twist deeper. Release your right elbow. Turn to gaze forward. Bring your left leg flat on the mat and come to lie on your back. Keep your right knee bent. Straighten your left leg out. Flex your foot. Hug your right knee into your chest. Bring your hands to the outside of your right thigh as you kick your right leg up for a supine half split. If your hamstrings are tight like mine, this might be as far as you can go. But we want to imagine we're bringing our toes past our right shoulder down to the mat. And if you have a strap, you can go ahead and use that to deepen your stretch. Bringing the fabric to the middle of the sole of your foot. Bend your right knee, release your strap. If you're using one, straighten your right leg out. Hug your left knee in. Reach for the outside of your left thigh, kick your left leg up. Supine half split. Using your strap if you have one. Bend your left knee, remove your strap. Feel free to work on any last minute pose before we go into Savasana. If you're working on a pose that requires one side of your body at a time, go ahead and switch sides. Let's meet lying down on our backs. We're going to go into a breathing exercise. I'm going to count to 4 for our inhales, and for our exhales, we're going to gradually increase from the count of 4 to 5 and then 6. I will let you know when the count changes. When I discontinue counting, feel free to count in your head, or you can focus on your breath at your natural pace. Our goal for Savasana is to focus on our breath, and when our mind begins to wander, we want to gently remind ourselves that we're not focusing on anything else but the present moment, and gently release from those thoughts and come back to the present. Let's begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. 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 Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Now 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Now 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Roll over to either side in fetal position. Bring your top hand, the palm of your hand flat on the mat, and use it to help bring you back up to your easy pose at the top of your mat. Eyes closed, hands at prayer by your heart. You did an incredible job. Thank you so much for joining me for our lunges level 1 class. I'll see you next time. Namaste.